Hello, this is Compost, Grow, Eat, Repeat. I'm just here at the park right now. And I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about just where we're at as a business, as an organization, and why we decided to do a nonprofit, or why we decided to do a business instead of a nonprofit. Because when I was applying for the license, I did my research, of course, as you should. And I was researching nonprofit because that's just what I wanted to go with. It's like, I'm not doing this for profit. So of course I'm not going to be a nonprofit. I'm a for-profit company. That's not why I'm doing this, But as I was going through, I was filling out the nonprofit application, very wordy. And I was going through it and I was just understanding. And they allocate your money. I guess they don't allocate it for you, but they tell you, the government tells you what you can and cannot do with your money. And for me, that was a problem because I have enough ethics, and the people I work with and I will work with, that I want to work with, have enough ethics that I know of, that I believe. Even though believe, you should look at that word because its origin is belie, which means, because when you believe something, you're just sure of it. But let me not get off topic. But I was saying this to say that I have enough ethics. I have morals that I stand by, to know that if I do have, I have a business, and with my business, it's still not for profit, but I can make profit off of it and use it how I will, and this has been my passion for a long time, is my passion, if you know me, my name is Nia. If you know me, my passion is to have each person grow their own food, each housing complex, each school, each business, each house to grow their own food. And for unhoused people, there's lots, wherever the grass is green. Let me just show you where I'm at real quick. Wherever the grass is green, food can be grown. So here, the grass, it's not the middle of summertime, but it's October. And if you know about Sacramento, there ain't no rain. So, knock on wood, but the rain, it comes when it does. But this whole field right here, like an acre of land, is green. It's green all around. And that's because the city is watering it. And I don't want to get too off the topic. This was just an update on how the business is going, what are some new projects I'm doing. But and as I work with more people, I want them to understand that this is my face, and this is I already have a business plan that I put out, but it's just, I'm just saying this to say that I'm growing my own food, and I want everyone around me growing their own food. Their communities are everywhere, whether it be the workplace, whether it be in a school, whether it be in a housing complex, in a neighborhood. All of these are communities, whether it feels like one or not, So I say that to say that if you know me, my passion is growing my own food. So I have enough ethics, I have morals to know that Compost, Grow, Eat, Repeat is about composting, growing, eating, and repeating, And it's for me, I decided to not go with a nonprofit license, even though it is tax exempt, which doesn't mean that much to me. I know as time goes on, and maybe it will mean more to me. But it is tax exempt, and with a business, you do have to pay business license, but taxes. But you're able to do what you want with your money. And what I want to do with my money is live off of it, and I want to produce life off of it. To provide life, to cultivate an environment so that an ecosystem can come about it. There's a lot of regenerating that needs to be done in the world. People say generational health, people say generational wealth, but I like to say generational health because in that is wealth. But so that's just something that I wanted to say about Compost Grow Repeat is a business. I was gonna go for a 501c3, but I decided to not because as I was filling out the application, which I still have, and I talked to the person in Sacramento when I applied for the business license, is that I could still go back and change it to a nonprofit, but I decided to start off with a not even for-profit business, but a business, because I have enough ethics to know how to use the money, and assets are seeds, assets are shovels, assets is water, so all those things are really important to live. But so first this is just random, so I don't even have a list in front of me or anything, but I just felt inspired going to a farm to just to tell you about where I'm at with Compost Grow Repeat right now. But so that's one of the things. I'm waiting on the business license to come into the mail, but I already got my fingerprint, even though I've got my fingerprint like 4 or 5 times now for different jobs. But that's something. Next is I've been working on project proposals, because with the project proposal, I want to be able to go anywhere and be able to just give them a project proposal, and of course fine tune it to them, whether it be a housing complex, whether it be a school, whether it be a daycare center, and let them know this is what you need, and this is how you can do it. And so even this housing complex that I'm working on, one of the first things, because with any place, Compost Grow Repeat. So I have many videos out there describing what Compost Grow Eat Repeat is to me. The different elements. Composting is this, growing is that, eating is this. Repeating is the most important one that I think. But because repeating is all of them together. But I say that to say that composting is the first one. So I started this garden, and the first thing that we did is we set up a compost trench, because to have a healthy garden, to have a full circle eating cycle, you must compost. So I don't want to get too much into it because I can already feel myself starting to just compost. So composting, so having the proper bins, 5-gallon bins, having the proper buckets for inside, having the proper compost system to actually where the compost process happens, whether it be a trench in the dirt, whether it be a compost turner, whether it be 4 boxes that someone is or a group of people are required to turn the compost. But I'm excited to get into this, and the growing. So then I can imagine with the growing, of course, knowing what to grow, knowing how to grow it, what needs water, what needs less water. Eating, that's one of my favorite parts because I love to eat and I love to cook. But really just dissecting, investigating the ingredients, because what's in your fridge is what's in your mind, what's in your body. So it's important to really evaluate your fridge and realize that what's in there is what you put in your body. So, and not just your, fridge. People will be going to people be going out to eat. People do be doing all sorts of things. So it's good to just, to know that it's important to eat right, and it's important to be conscious of what you're eating. Next is eating. So I'm just excited. And repeating, of course, that comes with the sustainability. And I even thought about that because when I was in Southern California a few weeks ago, I bought myself a Diva Cup because I had one. If you don't know what a Diva Cup is, it's this silicone cup, and it's a replacement for a tampon. It's a replacement for a pad. It's a replacement for panty liners, any of that stuff. And it could last up to 30 years. I know someone, and she knows someone, that woman has had her one Diva Cup for over 20 years. So if you're someone that has a period, and you supply your own menstrual products, then you know what it's like to buy a bag of pads, or you know what it's like to, I'm getting a little bit off topic, but it's right on topic as well. You know what it's like to buy a box of tampons. And it's just a lot of plastic. It's a lot of cotton that's been treated, been bleached. There's chemicals in there on purpose, chemicals to mess with your hormones. You're putting that thing inside your body. So it's very important to just be cautious and to educate yourself on all aspects of your life. You know, health is life. So yeah, but I said the repeat thing because I think repeat is the most important part. And here was just an example: is repeating is being more sustainable. So in that way of riding a bike, if you can, you know, using the light rail, using the bus, you know, and this doesn't apply for everyone. You know, not everyone is close to a light rail system, to a bus system. Not everyone is able to ride a bike, you know. So that's something to think about. But I say that all to say, I always say in any of the videos that you ever watch, I always say that repeat is the most important part, because that is the lifestyle. Compost, grow, eat, you could do that all day long, but if you don't do certain things, then you're not repeating the lifestyle. You know, if you don't think it's bigger than just your food system, because composting, growing, and eating, depending on how you look at it, that's your food. So that's what you put in your body. But repeating is, for example, the Diva Cup, or the menstrual cup. You know, Diva Cup is just a brand, but there's lots of brands with the silicone cup. And it's just wonderful because you buy it once. And there's this woman named Patricia Bright. She has the Break platform. I definitely recommend her. She says, she has this video and it says, being more cheap or being cheap can be more expensive in the long run. And I'm not even just talking about monetary expense, but this Diva Cup, I would say it's $50. When I bought it, it was also in SoCal. It was about like $49, or no, it was $39. It was $39.99. You know how it be. So it was $40, but I know if I keep up with that little cup, it's going to last me for years. And the other one did, I just lost it. And so then I don't have to buy pads. I don't have to buy tampons. And I'm just getting into this because this is an example of repeat. Another example that I like to think of for repeat is your cleaning products. So what you use to clean, that's a good example of repeat, because you could eat healthy and you could drink, or not even healthy, but you could, you know, eat vegetables. You could drink water all the time. You could drink filtered water. You could drink spring water. You could drink alkaline water. You could make your own alkaline water. You could do all these things, but if you're putting Clorox in your toilet and you're scrubbing it and flushing it down the system, Clorox, which is bleach, and you're putting that into our water system, you do this much, and then when you pollute, it goes back this much. And this is called your carbon footprint. I've heard that's a little bit, the history of that isn't so good, so I won't talk too much about that because I don't know that much about it, and I don't like to talk about things I don't know about. But I just say this all to say that, the video's 13 minutes. I wanted it to just be 10. But I get into the compost, grow, eat, repeat so much. I love it so much. I just wanted to update you on what I'm doing, what my plans are in the future. And I've been really thinking about, once I get the business license, because the woman, when I got my live scan fingerprint, she told me, don't start selling stuff or using the name until you get your business license. And I was like, okay. But I actually have an appointment coming up on Monday, and today's Thursday, and I'm going to write an invoice to this person, and I'm going to use the name, but and she said it would take 45 to 60 days, and it's been about three weeks since I got the live scan, which is live scan just means that they do your fingerprints. But I think the most exciting thing was just the apartment complex that I got to deal with. Well, I'm writing them a project proposal, and how it's not a nonprofit and how it's a business, but I have enough ethics, I have morals, the people around me have ethics, have morals, to know that it's not for profit. And I do profit off of it because the betterment of the world, the betterment of my community, the betterment of my people is profitable. You know, it's not monetary, but you know, that doesn't matter. You know, like it doesn't matter in the bigger scheme of things. And I always would tell this to the kids is, imagine someone with $100,000 car. Imagine someone with 1,000 acres. Who is gonna survive? Who is gonna, you know, because money, you can have lots of money and it could buy you food and it could buy you, you know, the water bill. You could pay for the water bill. But unless you have the water, unless you have the seeds to sow and the land to sow it on, then what's money going to do for you, you know? So I say that all to say that the profit, nonprofit, and, you know, my passion is for everyone to grow their own food, you know, and I'm sticking to that till the end, you know, because that is so important. And I hope to travel the world, and I will travel the world, to assist people in this so much needed, so much yearned for, so much desired need of food security, you know. And I always like this quote is, food justice is land access. So even here in the city of Sacramento, they set up the water, they set the sprinklers so that the water will spray in the middle of the night, 10 p.m. It will spray. And then everything is green. But imagine if the city, not even I'm talking about the government that pays for the water to spray grass, and then pays for someone to cut it, and then pays for them to water it so it grows, and then pays for someone to cut it. So imagine this with me. Just take a moment and imagine this. Imagine if the city were to set up the sprinklers. Not even set them up, they're already set up. The sprinklers are already set up. These people, they already set up the sprinklers. It waters the grass. Someone comes and mows it with gas. And just imagine if we were to sow seeds, just we, the community, the people, were to sow seeds in these big fields. Some of them are good. You got to have your soccer field. You got to have your basketball. Your basketball's on concrete, but you got to have your soccer. You got to have your football. You got to have those sports. It's good to have just an open field just to do activities on. But I'm talking about, but everywhere, anywhere, there's so much parks that they water, that they have timers, that they set up and they water the grass. Imagine if people were to come out here, sow seeds all up in the grass. Lines all organized, you know, or however, you know, sowing seeds, that's important. Sow the seeds. The city keeps watering the grass. I'm gonna try to end this at 20. The city keeps watering the grass, but there's seeds there now. So now they're watering cucumber, they're watering squash, they're watering eggplant, they're watering trees, they're watering avocado trees, they're watering tomatoes, you know? So The city, all the resources are here. We have the land. It's not even our land. The land is here. The land has been here. The land is here. The land is here. The water is here, even though we in California. But the water is here. The land is here. And the city, the government on purpose, intentionally sets up sprinklers to water grass just to cut it down. And that's why I'm really into guerrilla gardening. Guerrilla gardening will be a whole nother video. That's all. Gotta go.